Hello. Today's lesson is 14-6 and it's called Solving a Simpler Problem. You know you can solve a problem by understanding what you're asked to find and making a plan. Today you'll learn how solving a simpler problem can help you solve other problems. Have you ever solved smaller problems before you were able to solve a big problem? What did you do? We had some great examples. One of them was having to regroup numbers in a subtraction problem before you solve the subtraction problem. Use the grid paper on the back of your morning math to copy and shade this rectangular pattern. Since you don't have the grid paper in front of you, just look up here at the rectangular pattern on the screen. So here's the problem that has to do with this rectangular pattern. Story problem. Alex's parents are planning to tile their kitchen floor with 4 identical copies of this rectangular pattern. Each square in this rectangle is 1 square foot. What's the total area of the shaded regions of all 4 rectangular patterns? Wow, kind of a difficult problem, but since this lesson is called Solving a Simpler Problem, we'll take it one step at a time. First, asking ourselves, what are we asked to find? In other words, what's the question asking us to do? The question is asking us to do, well, it's in blue at the bottom there. It's asking us what is the total area of the shaded regions of all 4 rectangular patterns. Then, let's solve a simpler problem. What simpler problem is our first step? Students told me that the first step, the simpler problem, was to find the shaded area of 1 rectangular pattern. Some students counted the shaded area. Some did some multiplication, noticing that the rectangular pattern has 6 rows across the top, 6 rows across the top and 4 rows going down. So you can find the area of the whole big rectangle by multiplying 6 times 4. And then you'd have to subtract the part that's not shaded. So 6 times 4 is 24. Minus the 4 in the middle that aren't shaded is 20. That's our simpler problem. But we're not done with the whole problem yet because we need to know the shaded regions area for all 4 rectangular patterns. We know that for 1 rectangular pattern, the shaded regions area is 20. We need to multiply 20 by 4 to find the total area of the shaded regions for all 4 rectangular patterns. 20 times 4 is 80. So your final answer should be 80 square feet. Here I wrote down the steps that the teacher's textbooks suggest that students follow. They suggest that start by multiplying to find the whole rectangle. So 4 down, 6 across. Then they say multiply to find the white unshaded part. 2 times 2 equals 4. Subtract like we did, and then multiply that 20 that you get after you subtract by 4 to get 80 as a final answer. Students told me they didn't really need to multiply 2 times 2 to find how many were unshaded. They just kind of looked and saw that it was 4, and that's okay too. Another kind of question we looked at today. Lil glued square beads on the shaded part of the frame. What is the area of the part she decorated? So the simpler problem to solve first is find the area of the whole rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 5 times 5 is 25, so the whole thing, including the white part and the purple part, is 25. Then subtract the white part, which is 2 times 3, or you can probably tell just by looking 6 white squares. 25 minus 6, your answer is 19. 19 square inches to have a complete answer. And that was it for today.